Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is having a beautiful day. I'm Thiago. I'm project coordinator here at Encora Brazil Division, and I'm pleased being your host in this session. A friendly reminder, follow us on our social media appearing on the screen, so be up to date of every news, all right? And this session is part of Global Dev Week organized by Encora, so thanks Encora. The session of today is Drive Innovation and Creativity with Agility. It's an amazing subject. You can interact with us by chat, leaving comments, ask questions, and etc. The speakers will be happy to answer all your questions, also using the chat, all right? Well, our speaker today is Romina and Alonso. Romina is MBA, System Engineering, a major in marketing and sales, with more than 10 years of experience in roles such as Agile and Transformation Lead, Scrum Master, and Project and Program Manager. Romina works at Encora since 2021. Alonso, Software Engineering, specializing in Agile Management, with more than 10 years of experience in roles such as Agile Transformation Lead, Scrum Master, Project Manager, Tech Lead, and etc. Alonso works at Encora since 2019. Both speakers have an impressive background working in various business segments among industries and services in general. Okay, let me invite the speakers. Romina, Alonso, it's up to you. Thanks for your presence.
So our topic today will be driving innovation and creativity with agility. The agenda for this session will be Agile for supporting innovation and creativity. We're going to go through some key concepts and then how these concepts can transform our organizations. Then how to apply the Agile benefits to this innovation and creativity. Afterwards, we're going to share some Agile toolkit tools for methodologies, frameworks, techniques, and innovation workshops. Then we're going to set some examples of the implementation. And in the end, we have some conclusions for the summary of this session. Starting with why Agile for supporting innovation and creativity. Romina.
Sure. Let me share my screen. So we have everything on play. Okay, so why Agile for supporting innovation and creativity? So we know that Agile is based on concepts that help to build and guide practical, hands-on experimental environments and team mindset. Agile is basically a project management approach that focuses on iterative way to tackle projects and goals, but also focuses on delivering value in smaller increments, called iterations, and every few weeks, ultimately building towards a complete product that constantly gets feedback and gives an opportunity to improve. More than that, actually, Agile is a mindset that is based on the Agile manifestos that have some values and principles, and it's a way of thinking and doing things. And for that, we need to integrate the team's daily working practices, not just as part of our routine, but understanding really and accepting the motivation behind all of these new practices. Those values and practices and principles provide some guidance on how to create and respond to change and how to deal with uncertainty. The intention behind Agile mindset is to empower the employees and to do their best work. A strong mindset that allows also team members to experience autonomy, to have freedom, creativity, and innovation. And we all know that creativity also flourishes in an environment where there are some restrictions, but also some options to explore. So cross-functional teams are the perfect way to bring the knowledge, the experience, and different backgrounds so we can add up to a new solution, a prototype, and perfect for experimentation. In the end, collaboration among the team and ownership of results leads to accountability and how the team responds to any challenges ahead. Finally, we have agility as a toolkit full of frameworks, full of best practices that you can adapt to your situation. Not everything applies for everyone, so you have to pick the best and try to apply it to your own situation. All of this guided by an expert who gives the most of your time in experimentation and innovation. We continue with why Agile and how that transform our organizational culture. So for that, we have very great concepts, which are the customer centricity, the risk taking, and learning. So for customer centricity, we know that we have to design with empathy. All customer-centric organizations deliver whole product solutions designed with a deep understanding of the customer needs. But also we have to know our customer lifetime value. Something that is quite important for enterprises is to move beyond a transactional mentality to instead focus on creating longer-term relationships for this clear and accurate understanding of how the customer derives value from the situation. This turns into greater profits, increased employee engagement, and obviously higher customer satisfaction. And by doing so, we also can focus on the team and our team that is building this particular solution when it comes to risk-taking and learning. An agile environment provides changes in the team and individual mentality. Many organizations, especially bigger corporations, work trying to avoid errors and experimentations and going for the safe solution. And in that setup, we lose flexibility and adaptation to change. But that is a key difference between a startup and a consolidated and bigger corporation. That's something that we want to avoid and we want to change in the mentality when we go to Agile. We could change the culture of fear of failure that inhibits people from innovation into more positive error culture that actually nurtures the construction and the openness and equally solution-oriented approach. By building a team mindset that also takes ownership and accountability and could take upon decisions that course correct the path toward their goal, we have in the end something that is going to give us more flexibility in experimentation, but also keeping an eye on reducing risks by being reactive and adaptable to what we receive as feedback and in an effort to continuous improvement and learning through this whole process. So we know that we have all these concepts, and normally we do go for a total product where we have the generic product, which is something that many companies could give, like many proposed solution that many companies could give for the customer in itself. But then we go a little bit further than that. So we started looking and experimenting for something that is the expected product. So we go a little bit more into the needs by doing more innovation, more deep learnings into what the customer actually is waiting for. And if we go even further than that, we can have an augmented product, which finally, between iterations and iterations that we can try for improvement, eventually could go to the potential product that will differentiate our solution as a company from some other companies that might have just like a very basic or very like standard solution for any of the needs of the customer. That is one of the key challenges for any organization that goes into Agile, but it's also one of the things that we really benefit from when it comes to turning our organization towards this. So let's see, how do we apply those Agile benefits and for innovation, obviously, and creativity.
Thank you, Romina. So following up with all the concepts that Romina introduced, we're going to see how we can apply those benefits or those Agile concepts for innovation and creativity. And the idea is how to see who affects what and what kind of benefits provides to the organization. So how do we apply those Agile benefits that Romina just said? So first of all, starting with monitor and adapt. The main thing with this is to monitor market trends and check competitors and substitutes for our products. And obviously that gives us room for adapting to that. So how do we foster this in the organization? Well, we have to stay informed about emerging technologies, customer behaviors, then obviously in our industry, monitor the landscape and how it develops to identify potential opportunities or threats for our products, and then be open to pivoting your strategies in the organization and business model when necessary to stay relevant and seize new opportunities. So standing and checking the trends and be flexible to adapt to the new opportunities that start rising up. It's how monitor and adapt helps us to innovate and foster creativity. Then empower and trust, that affects directly to the teams, and that gives autonomy and authority to the teams to make their own decisions, to take ownership of the domains they are currently working on, and that encourages all the employees to have an extra commitment and passion for the product the organization is building, and trusting them with the expertise of their careers or the skill sets, provide them a nice environment to foster new ideas. The third key concept or benefit is empathize, and this will affect our peers, our users, and our customers. And then we encourage our team members to listen and understand everyone's idea, anyone's concerns, and anyone's suggestions. Obviously, we have to take time to truly understand the customer's needs, their challenge, and their aspirations. And then using empathetic understanding to identify pain points and uncover opportunities to our customers will give us opportunity to innovate solutions that address those specific needs. Then another key benefit is diversity and inclusion. This will give us new perspective, all the experience that all the people have in our organization, and it will foster cross-team collaboration, as Romina has mentioned. So embracing diversity can create inclusive environment and that values and respects all the perspective of the persons involved. And the research has shown that diversity and diverse teams, are more innovative and creative as they bring a wider range of ideas and viewpoints to the table. And that will help us solve problems in a creative and innovation way. Then, as the Agile framework provides, is test and validate. So how we can test and validate our ideas? It can be by prototyping with iterations and the feedback for our users. So as we prototype and we test our idea, we have to empathize, as we mentioned, with the end users through the process. Gathering the feedback is really important, and there's several ways of gathering feedback, and then observe the interaction with our product, actively listen their opinions, and also the emotion that it generates to our users. And then by the end, empathizing with the feedback we got, we will understand the customer needs, and then align those needs to our business value and the feature of our products. And since Agile is a never-ending process of improvement, continuous improvement helps the teams and the organizations to have better and high-performing teams. And how we can achieve that is about using training programs and the tolerance of failure. So foster a learning culture in our organization will give the individuals and the teams are encouraged to acquire new knowledge through the time. So this will keep us in the top of the new technologies, the emerging opportunities, and the market trends. And also encourage reflection and provide resources for professional development and tolerance of failure will give us the team room to experiment and try new technologies and propose new ideas. That will give us the benefits of the Agile to apply to apply in our organization for innovation and creativity. Moving on that, the idea is how with the Agile toolkit and using the framework and tools can help us foster innovation and creativity in our organization. First of all, the Agile toolkit will provide us framework and methodologies. The most common framework is Scrum. This is an iterative and incremental process, give us quick delivery of value and foster team collaboration. But by using Scrum, you can create a framework for innovation and creativity by encouraging frequent feedback, regular inspection, and adaptation to the process. Then we can use Kanban. Kanban focuses on optimizing flow and visualizing work. How we can visualize work? Well, Kanban provides us for boards that can be used to capture, visualize, prioritize ideas, and also track their progress from the conception of an idea to the implementation and the release. And the last framework methodology that Agile provides us is Lean Startup. Lean Startup focuses on reducing waste, maximizing learning, and iterate product really quick. So the methodology of Lean Startup emphasizes of rapid experimentation, learning from our customer feedback, and adapting based on that feedback and learning from our experience. There are three methods. These three methods can help us foster innovation and creativity within our teams. Then, as we need to innovate, we need research tools. So three key research tools for starting innovating in our organizations is design thinking, that will focus on problem solving, centering the human, and generating ideas. Then Link UX, experimentation, it's a key concept here. Hypothesis driven, we part from an idea, we want to prove if that idea is good or bad, and then it's a lightweight technique. It uses really quick methodologies or activities to go through a concept and to a prototype just to make sure we have proven our hypothesis. And then the design sprint, which is a technique that have 5 days in the process, will focus on critical parts, will help us learn from our customers, and then it's more of do it yourself. So it will involve everyone there to be hands-on on this problem-solving process. And then some innovation tools that can foster new ideas and help us improve our products and generate new, really outstanding products. First of all is hackathons. This is a healthy competition activity that will involve the whole organization. Then it's a focus time and space that will help the teams to focus, to bring to the table new ideas and propose really quick solutions to problems. And then it gave us high value rewards because it will give us recognition to the enterprise. It will give some monetary prize probably, or it can be emotional prize. So that will give the opportunity of the teams and the people to propose new ideas. Then innovation sprints. This is a more frequent approach to give us out of the box thinking. It's dedicated workshops and it's a measure event. As we all know, we have sprints in our current methodologies or frameworks, so we have to measure the outcome of this innovation sprint. We will see later an example of how we can introduce this to our planning. And then 20% of the time is a technique that Google introduced for exploring new concepts, to achieve personal projects, and to experiment creative solutions. The idea is to give 20% of the time to the employees to learn new skills, focus on personal projects, and they can allocate that for giving new ideas to the organization. And then we have some example of how we can implement some of these concepts to a broader planning in our daily work. First of all, we have a monthly innovation plan, and this will have two key concepts. First, the 20% learning time, and then an innovation day. This is a current implementation in one of our projects I am working on, and the idea is to have each Friday 20% of the time to explore new things, learn new technologies, explore personal projects, bring some ideas to the table. And then every third week or every third Friday, we will have a full innovation day to apply all this learning into a feasible project, or it can be a proof of concept, or it can be a prototype. So the idea is in a monthly basis and in a sprint iteration, you can introduce learning time and then innovation time into your teams. And the other example is more of a roadmap through a quarter. This can be done for the whole year. We just showing up here a semester. So we will have planned the sprint for all the teams or for all the organization. And the last sprint of the quarter will be an innovation sprint. And then by the end of the semester, we can have a hackathon for a whole weekend in this case, or we can allocate more time to this event. So this will give us continuous innovation spaces for the whole organization, and this will involve all the organization across. You can have engineers, you can have marketing people, but this will help us plan the quarter and the year for the whole organization to have innovation time. After this, we will jump into the conclusions that will summarize all the concepts that we have been talking around. So, Romina, back to you.
Sure, thanks. Let's see. So once again, after hearing all of this, we have concepts of agility that actually help build this sort of mentality for the team, help change the organization so we can support these teams to do their best work, to become more innovative, to become more creative, to be not afraid of failure. So all of this is based on what agility becomes the best practices, or have the best practices and the best guides for doing so. So we generate these sets of environments and guidelines for people, for innovation, basically, either that being for creating products, for modifying processes, or for anything that we are aiming to do as part of our organization and for the goals that we have set for ourselves. We also have this to minimize the risk and disruption that actually impacts by addressing them constantly and practically, instead of just following a standard plan and something that is quite waterfall like we've done before in the past. This is something that is constantly moving, constantly evolving, and that helps not only change and adapt to whatever challenge we have ahead, but also help on the experimentation and avoids being just too overly focused on just one particular prototype and start experimenting on different ways of doing things until we find the right solution for us. This is all about embracing change and uncertainty, providing flexible environments that encourage experimentation, as we mentioned. Also emphasizes a culture of learning where failure is seen as an opportunity instead of something that is criticized or that is pointed at. And also provides resources and best practices for driving creativity and innovation in processes. In the end, all of what we are saying is just a general way of applying things. Alonso also mentioned some possible examples on how to apply it to your organization, but it also depends on how your organization wants to drive the change and what the actual goal of the changes and goals and like OKRs or things that you are looking for should be at. So this is something that could be applied in many, many different ways. With that, I think we can conclude our presentation and we are ready for any questions that you might have.
Personally, I truly believe that the Agile could be a strong ally to any kind of problem solution. And the way that it was presented, well, it was easy to see that, to reinforce that the idea and to bring a couple of insights and bright ideas to be using in any kind of situation. So for me, it was amazing. Thank you for the presentation. It was very, very useful and productive. Thank you. Thank you for our audience for your time and messages. I hope everyone have enjoyed as mine. And please remember to return to official website to review the agenda. And I hope to see you soon. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye.